Hi, and welcome back to Misfortune's Corner. Uh, this week we've kind of got a little bit something different for you. It's an idea that our resident DM of our alignment campaign, Stephen, has kind of collaborated with me on, and we uh, we think that you're really going to enjoy this. This is something that we're really excited about. This is going to be a kind of like a little side campaign similar to our Heads of House podcast, and we really hope that you enjoy it. Stephen, could you kind of give us an idea of what this podcast is about?
Oh, hey, sure thing. Well, the idea is that generally you always have parties versus monsters, and that's generally how you determine their challenge rating. We had the idea, well, what if you had two monsters that were similarly powered? We could put them, um, we could have them go head to head with each other and really determine which of those challenge rating brackets really are the meanest. And so that's where this whole idea came from. So basically, we're calling this Misfortune's Corner Underground. This physically takes place underground the Misfortune's Corner. Um, I guess. What would you call it, Taylor?
I believe I've dubbed Misfortune's Corner as a tavern.
Okay. So it's kind of like an underground fighting arena. And
That's right, folks. We're doing an underground monster fight.
yes. So it's basically one on one to really determine what monster is the best. Like the environment magically alters to make it so it's suitable for environments. So like we're not limited to um only monsters that are typically found underground. You can have like sea creatures or whatnot. Anyway, it's a super exciting concept, and I'm excited to share this with you guys.
All right, so before we get into this week's fight, and yeah, we're going to be doing a fight the first week, but just some table items. We're gonna spend a minute kind of explaining the layout episode to episode of this, and then we'll go over um, the rules of the arena, and then we'll go over some combat particulars. And then from there, we'll get right into our first fight. Um, we're also probably going to be getting like a like a WrestleMania announcer kind of thing going for the monsters to kind of invite our monsters into the arena kind of thing. But that's something that we're looking into. But to start out, our episode layout. So a general episode of Misfortune's Corner Underground. We will introduce the combatants, probably via our announcer spokesperson. Then whoever's participating in the fight this week, it might end up being more than just Stephen and I running this, but whoever's participating this week will kind of give a lore expose on their monster. Nothing too deep, nothing too crazy, probably just something like places they're generally found and maybe some temperaments and kind of just some general information about them, as well as anything interesting. And for our bigger, nastier beasties, probably some honorable mentions. Like I imagine if we get a lich in here at some point, we'll probably have some notable liches that we'll mention. But we'll just do a little bit of a lore breakdown, and then we will get right into the fight. And while we're doing the fight, we'll kind of do the same thing we do with our other podcasts, where if we use an ability, we'll explain what it does right there. That way, you, the listener, will kind of be aware of what's happening as we say stuff. And then once the fight is over, we'll kind of spend a minute discussing how the fight went, why it went the way we did, and kind of just stuff revolving around that. Stephen, would you like to give us a rule layout?
Yeah, so we have quite a few rules. I'm not gonna make this tedious and list all the rules because um not
That's for
everyone wants
us.
to hear that. Those are more for us. But generally the way the fights are gonna go on is everyone has like a kind of neutral environment, but the environment um we say it magically changes to the best environment for that person. And all the monsters would start 30 feet apart, and we would roll initiative to see who goes first as normal. And then from that point on, it's most anything goes. I don't want to say anything goes, but we'll say that
Yeah.
tentatively anything goes tentatively.
I think some important points for our listeners to know about our rule sets, and we can post our list of rules somewhere eventually if people end up listening to this and are interested in it. But I think some notable rules for our player knowledge is that we each pick a single monster. So we can't pick like a grouping of monsters. We pick a single monster and have to operate with that monster's stat block abilities. Um, and within that, I believe we said that anything with legendary actions or layer actions is free game, but we're not going to delve into regional effects. Is that right?
Yeah, that's we agreed on that one.
All
And
right.
also like some other weird environmental effects where, for example, if one monster is typically found in the darkness and the other one doesn't have blind sight, that's obviously not fair because the one with blind sight wouldn't encounter them in there. There's a lot of kind of
There's a lot of
simple
nitty-gritty
rules that
rules,
just require like it's possibly subject to change, is basically what's going on.
but the arena favors both monsters, so we're not going to run into a scenario where one monster's at a severe disadvantage because of environmental whatever. So yeah, with that being said, I think that's all the rules, right, Stephen? Or
Yeah,
at
I
least all
think
the currently relevant ones.
all the relevant ones, yeah.
All right. With that being said, I think we can just get right into the fight. Again, I'm sorry we don't have our announcer voice this week. I'll give it my best go. But we'll probably have somebody else voicing that for us that does a real good job at a WrestleMania type voice.
I'll try my
Uh,
best, but no guarantees.
but for now, I think I'll give it a try on opening that up. So this week on Misfortune's Corner Underground, we have a Hydra versus a Sword Wraith Commander. Don't make fun of me too bad. All right, Stephen, uh, you've got the Hydra. You care to give us a little lore on that?
Yeah, so he's a mean green fighting lizard machine. Um, Pretty much, if you can picture a 20-foot grid, which is typically in D&Ds, he'd be considered a huge creature. He's pretty much a huge serpent, basically big lizard with multiple heads. Typically, you see him with like 5 heads and 5e. He has a huge long tail that makes him just enormous. He also clocks in at about 4,000 pounds. So, if you somehow get him, have fun carrying him away. So, a little bit of background for these special hydras. They basically came out from a war, a dragon war, and lore's kind of weird with them. Shows how blood from a god that Tiamat didn't like got sprayed everywhere, and up came hydras out of the blood droplets. It makes sense, right? Well, hydras are, because of that, they're kind of dragons almost. They don't really care much like valuables like normal dragons would, but they are smart enough to use valuables as bait. So like oftentimes you can, if there's a hydra nearby, you can see that there's like a ransacked card or something with some possibly valuable, at least shiny items around to lure you closer to the hydra so you can get a nice quick easy meal out of you. A lot of times people think of hydras as they lurk in these big caves and they're kind of just dormant doing who knows what. However, a lot of times they actually don't stay in those caves. They're generally found around like swamps and rivers. They're natural swimmers, so they like easy water access. And generally they're like warmer areas, so the only time you'd actually find them in a cave is if they are if it's cold outside. What's really special about the Hydra is that each of their heads kind of has its own personality and its own brain. So, like, even when it's sleeping, you're not going to surprise him because he always sleeps with one head that's awake. So, good luck sneaking up on him. One trait that is known for hydras is that they're basically the hungry hippos on steroids. They are always hungry, and they're known to, if they don't get enough food, to nibble on their neighbor's head, and they're very violent because of that. So they're basically a never-ending Kirby without the suck factor. And what makes hydras generally even harder to kill is the fact that their heads regrow. They're You can basically think of the Hercules movie, and that's pretty accurate there. In older editions, they actually had some different variants of them that are kind of scary. There'd be like the Pyro Hydra and Cryo Hydra. So basically, one would breathe fire and one would breathe ice, and they'd be pretty scary. But unfortunately, 5e doesn't quite have that yet. And what makes them scary is that just they just keep regenerating heads over and over again, and they get scary as you go on. And that's pretty much all I would really find about these hydras. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I think it'll be pretty cool to try them out.
Well, Steven has outdone me. My monster, uh, I don't know if it's just newer or if I wasn't looking in the right places, but I don't have nearly that much information about mine.
I'm sorry.
Um, but I am doing a Sword Wraith commander. Sword Wraiths are kind of like a revenant. It's an undead that is brought to its unlife through really strong emotions, um, while revenants are brought back through a over healthy sense of vengeance. Sword wraiths are brought back by a lust for battle. They're usually like glory obsessed warrior type people that kind of died dishonorably. So like if a group of warriors were caught in an ambush and just got slaughtered, there's a chance that they'd come back as sword wraiths and haunt wherever it is that they died. Um, they sword wraiths value honor above everything else. So like they're one of those few groupings of undead that like you can offend. Like if you have offender, if you offend their honor, they will get really, really ticked off at you. Meanwhile, you can also like kind of placate them by I want to say this the same way it's written out. Little pleases them more than hearing a ballad performed in their honor. So they like they like it when you compliment them. Um, and sometimes towns will hold festivals near battlefields where sword wraiths are to kind of celebrate them to appease them for the year. Um, sword wraiths are undead, so they don't need the air, food, drink, or sleep uh, thing, and they've got all those undead uh, benefits. Specifically, the one I'm playing is a commander, so it's kind of a ranked sword wraith, and that gives him some benefits. And I think it's everything I had for lore.
So the sword wraith is kind of like a not so evil undead, basically.
Um, Let me see. They are listed in the book as lawful evil.
Hmm.
So they are, I guess, technically evil, the same way that I think majority of undead are
Yeah, I don't know of any undead that are
that are good.
normally good.
Um, but they're not like the whole kill everything on sight type of undead, I think. I
Hmm.
think they're probably a little more passive than that. Yeah. So I think that's everything I got.
Cool. Well, I am excited for this. This is sounds like it could be an interesting fight. Let's go to the battle arena.
Alrighty.
Are there any particular bonuses and stuff that the sword
I
wraith would have for
Sword
like
Wraith does
environment?
not have any beneficial terrain.
Okay. Well, the Hydra can swim, which for this whole purposes we don't really care about elevation height because that's think of it as a cage match basically. Um, Hydra can swim just as fast as he walks, so he's really doesn't have any other effects either.
Alright, so we can just do a standard arena then.
Nice.
Alrighty, I guess it's time for us to roll initiative and see who goes first.
Bring it. Well, that didn't work very well. I got a 7.
16.
Yep. Okay. So you go first.
Alrighty. Um, oh man, this is like an intense.
You're intimidated because I'm 3 times the size.
Yeah, I'm
Well, it's
looking
really
at
8 times essentially because every size category is twice your size. So I'm 2 sizes. So I'm 8 times. No,
4 times.
no, because the way the enlarged spell works is your height doubles, your size doubles, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Um,
Whatever. I'm big.
oh, this is gonna be bad, but I'm gonna run in an attack.
Okay.
So so the Sword Wraith Commander has a multi-attack, so I get to make 2 weapon attacks with my longsword. Does a 15 hit?
It does.
Whew. So that deals. Um, yeah, it's one-handed because he has a shield. So that is 1d8 plus 4, so 6 slashing damage. And then for my second, that is a 17 to hit. And that deals 12 slashing damage.
Mm,
All right, and that is my turn.
okay. Got to recalculate my health. Okay. It's the Hydra's turn. He has 5 heads. Um, I'll give you one guess at what he can do with all of them.
He attacks once with all of them.
He attacks once with all of them. So this is gonna be kind of brutal, probably. I don't roll like crap. That's an 11 to hit.
That misses.
Okay.
Um, I think for our viewers' knowledge, we might just want to state our ACs.
No, we'll say it at the end.
Okay,
That
okay,
makes sense. And we're all guessing. And we're
okay.
guessing.
We're all
That's how
guessing a little
normal
bit.
D&D goes. If you find
That's
out
fair.
the AC, then it's
No
got it.
fun.
Yeah. All right. It's a little bit higher. That's a four. No, 16 to hit.
That is a miss.
Whoa. Okay, I got 3 more.
Gosh, freaking.
Oh, that's a 1. Oh well. That's another fail. Come on, don't roll like crap. I have 1 more attack with the head. Finally, 17 on the dice. All right, um that's a hit, right?
What's the total?
um 25.
Yeah, that's a hit.
All right, so it does 1d10 plus 5 piercing damage.
Alrighty.
And ooh, okay, that's fine. You take 10 piercing damage.
10 piercing.
Mm-hmm. And that is my turn.
Is that magical piercing?
Oh, no, it is not. Question. Hold on, I need to calculate how much. Um, let's see, 2.
Okay. Um, so my Sword Wraith commander has been damaged during this combat. So he is going to use his action to use his Call to Honor action, which he can use once per day. To use this action, the Sword Wraith must have taken damage during the current combat. If the Sword Wraith can use this action, it gives itself advantage on attack rolls until the end of its next turn, and 1d4 plus 1 Sword Wraith warriors appear in unoccupied spaces within 30 feet of it.
Ooh.
The warriors last until they drop to 0 hit points, and they take their turns immediately after the commander's turn on the same initiative count. So I'm going to roll a die. That is a 4 on the die. Is that a 4? Yes, it is a 4. For a
You
moment in the light,
cheeky.
it looked like a 1, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Did I only get 2 of them?"
Yeah, you high rolled there.
I did high roll. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and you choose where to put them too?
Yep,
Holy crap, you're just getting advantage on like all of the hits.
5, and yeah, I got 5. Yeah, so that's all of them.
You're just surrounding the Hydra right now.
Yep, placing them all around. And that's his turn. So now it's their turn.
I say I'm getting a little scared from my poor little Hydra. Poor little Hydra here.
All right. So number 1 is going to take a long sword attack. That is a 23 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, minimum damage, 5. 5 slashing damage. So then we're on to Sword Wraith 2's turn. 24 to hit.
Yep.
12 slashing damage.
Yeah.
Number 3, 17 to hit.
Yep.
This guy has no AC, does he?
Oh, you've hit him every time.
That is 11 slashing damage.
Okay.
Number four's turn. Oh, I'm sure this one misses. 12 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay. And number 5
You don't have
is.
5.
I do have 5. It's
There's
4 plus 1.
4. What? Oh, cheeky.
And that is a 10 to hit, so that also misses.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, I don't have any cool abilities right now, so I'm gonna attack you 5 times. First off, he's gonna try and attack the ones surrounding him first. Try and pick off all the little guys. So he's gonna attack number 5. That's a 22 to hit.
That is a hit.
Ooh, close to max damage, 14 piercing.
14 piercing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He's gonna attack again. 20 to hit.
Number 5 again.
Yep. 8 piercing.
All right.
Oh dang, Hydra's going down here. That's a crit.
Gosh dang.
Ooh, there's a 7 and a
Oh,
9. 21 piercing.
all right. Number 5 is bloodied.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
He's gonna attack it again. 15 to hit.
That is a miss.
Okay, one more attack. It's a crit fail. Okay, your turn.
All right. So the Sword Wraith commander is going to attack. That is a 21.
It
All right, and that is 7 slashing damage.
only 7.
And then on his second attack, that is a 25 to hit,
Yep.
which is another 7 slashing damage. And then number 1,
Why don't you do more damage? I need you to crit.
these guys don't deal a whole lot of damage.
I see that.
Number 1 misses, he got an 8.
Okay.
Number 2, crit failed. Number 3. Oh, wait, I forgot. They're flanking. Does a 19 hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 1 hits. 10 slashing.
Okay.
Okay, and then number 2, that is a 14 to hit.
No.
Okay, so number 2 still misses. Number
Yep. So basically, you've hit me
three.
on a 15. His AC's 15.
Okay, AC 15. Number 3, that is a dirty 20 to hit.
Yep.
7 slashing. Number 4, that is a 18 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
6 slashing.
Okay. I'm bloodied.
And then number 5 is a 10 to hit, so he misses.
Okay. Well, you guess what I'm gonna do?
No, I have no idea what you're gonna do.
So here, I'm debating. Do I get 1 kill or do I just try to focus the big dude? Because if I kill the big dude, it's a win. There's no way I'm taking out the other dudes. What if I just crit like 5 times? That might do it.
Maybe.
I think that's the only way that the Hydra is gonna take out. So using the big brains of all 5 heads, he's gonna think of the only way out, which is to take out the big guy. So he's gonna attack. Can I just copy this big D20 5 times? Or can you do it?
Yeah, I'll clone you.
Give me 5. Okay, I'm rolling all my attacks at once. All right, numbers. 20 to hit. Almost a crit on 2 of them. Oh, 27 to hit, 27 to hit, 15 to hit. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does not.
Okay. And then a 22. So
That
4
does.
hits.
4 hits.
All right. That's a total of 44 damage. Oh,
Ooh.
but you probably have resistances and stuff. So each attack you could remove your resistances or whatever. I don't know whatever your monster stat does.
It doesn't matter if you give it to me individually or all at once.
Okay. That's his
Um,
turn. He did a little bit. I'm guessing you're not bloodied though.
no. No, I am not.
No. Would you say a blood in your eyes though? With bloodlust?
Yeah, definitely. There's bloodlust there. I'm gonna take some potentially dangerous moves here. Um,
Oh,
I'm going to make my first 2 weapon attacks with the Sword Wraith Commander. Ooh, that is a crit.
okay.
So let's start with that. That is 15 slashing damage. This is bad because I feel like there's something that happens if I deal.
Why would that happen?
Because you seemed too eager for me to damage you. I feel like there's something that happens if I hurt you too much.
Yeah.
It's my second attack.
You have advantage.
I know I do. That is. I'm
I'm too
really
eager to get
nervous for what's
hit.
about to happen. That is a 23 to
Yes,
hit.
hit. Come on, come
Oh,
on. You can
five
do it.
five slashing
I
damage.
hate you. I hate you.
But here's my potentially dangerous move. I'm going to use an ability, Martial Fury. As a bonus action, the Sword Wraith can make 1 weapon attack, which deals an extra 9 necrotic damage, or
Ooh.
extra 2d8 necrotic damage on a hit. If it does so, attack rolls against it have advantage until the start of its next turn.
You already have advantage, so
Well, no,
flanking and all.
attack rolls against the commander have advantage.
Oh, you're really going in because you're that confident you're gonna win. Then I'm guessing. Okay,
Um, and that is a miss. Oh my gosh.
what was it?
It
You have
was
advantage
a
on your attack.
I rolled with advantage.
Ah,
The
you
highest
suck.
was an 11.
You suck. Do I still get advantage?
You do.
Yay! I get something.
The Sword Wraith 1 is going to attack, and that is over 20.
Mm-hmm.
So 11 slashing.
Wow, they do a lot of damage.
And then he is also going to use Martial Fury.
That sounds broken.
That is a crit.
Okay. Okay. You can do it, bud.
That is math.
Don't you dare say it's
16.
less. Yes. Okay. So,
What happens?
um, you lop off one of his heads.
Crap. I think we can all guess what's happening there, but do you want to?
We'll do that at the beginning of the turn. It didn't happen yet. For
Okay.
the moment, he has 4 heads.
Okay. The Sword Wraith 2 is going to attack then, and that is over 20, and that is 11 damage. I am not going to take that bonus action.
Okay. I'm deadly now, I believe.
Um,
Meaning I'm at fourth of my hit points.
okay, in that case, I will. I will take
Okay.
that bonus action. Thanks for
I figure that's a good rule to just have, just to know where the other person's
where
at.
the other person's hit
Because
points are. Yeah.
just if we'll announce it if they're deadly or um whatever.
Um, that is a 18 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So 4.
4?
Sorry, no, 6. 6 slashing damage.
Okay, how much did you do the first one?
Um I think 11.
Okay.
All right, number 3. That is over 20.
Wait, you're on number 3 now? Dang it. Okay. Yep.
And that is 12 slashing. Bonus action over 20.
Yep.
11 slashing damage.
Okay. I'm on death's door.
Okay, number 4. This one might miss. Yeah, 14 to hit, so that's a miss.
That's a miss. You just have to miss with everything.
Bonus action. That is a 21 to hit.
That's a hit.
That is 7 slashing.
And the Hydra falls. The
Sword
Sword
Wraith
Wraith,
Commander.
the Sword Wraith commander emerges victorious.
Hey, oh,
Ding 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 ding.
we have a winner. All right. Um,
How do you think
so
that went?
if I'm being honest, like completely honest, that was much more of a wipe than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
Um,
I seriously thought when we started this that I was in trouble.
Honestly, I didn't expect your reinforcements. Also, the fact that you got the max number, it's like complete overkill too.
Oh, if I had gotten a 1 or a 2 on that though, I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference.
Yeah, because it essentially comes down to 2 extra attacks per turn. Wait, no, they attack normally 2 times, or was it
So the
just with their martial they
so
attack
the
twice?
Sword Wraith commander attacks twice and then has his bonus action. The Sword Wraith warriors attacked once and then had the bonus action.
Yeah. So either way, you got a bunch of extra attacks per turn, which I think that's really what did it.
Yeah, I think that's what won it for me. I also think that the advantage definitely played in. I was able to surround the Hydra and get those attacks in. Um, Another thing that really helped me, and I'm gonna kind of part the veil here. So the Sword Wraith Commander armor class was 18,
Oh, that's pretty high.
and then the Warriors had a 16.
How many hit points did they all have?
The Warriors had 45 hit points, but they also had damage resistance to necrotic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks.
Hmm.
So they were taking half damage from everything you were dealing. And then the Sword Wraith Commander had all those same resistances, but he had 127 hit points.
I think the Hydra was outclassed in like every single way here.
I,
So
I think they
I'll,
were. The
I'll
Hydra against a party, I think, is dangerous because party members on average will deal at the level that they fight a Hydra, so at CR8, I think players deal enough damage to lop off heads. I'm guessing that it was like if I because it didn't happen every turn, so I'm guessing that it was something that I had to deal a certain amount of damage on one turn.
yeah, so I'll go over what the Hydra is. So basically, his I guess his main advantage against your person was the fact that his hit points was 172, AC 15. He does have reach on all of his attacks. Really does nothing, honestly. It just means you can't range him as easy. Um, but the fact that he gets like all of it, he just gets 5 attacks. That's really his big thing. I think your dude's honestly just more of a scarier challenge rating. Um, the ability that I was wanting to happen would have only really helped me like early on. So anytime the Hydra takes 25 or more damage in a single turn, that's when his head lops off. And if you somehow kill all of the heads, so like in one whole round, you would be dealing 25 damage in a turn 5 times, which is honestly stupid hard to do. It grows at the end of its turn, it grows back 2 heads for each head that died last since its last turn, unless it takes fire damage.
Okay.
And additionally, he regains 10 hit points for each of the heads that's regrown. So he would have gained back 20 hit points with 2 new heads.
Oh, that would have been nice.
It would have been nice.
But like you said, that's more of an early game thing. I think in normal D&D play, a Hydra would definitely be pretty scary because players would probably, on average, deal more damage than the Sword Wraiths did. And so they'd be lopping off heads left and right and just creating a real problem. But they'd also have fire, so I don't know how that would play out.
Yeah.
But I think in a toe-to-toe, Sword Wraith Commander is definitely the stronger of the two. Uh, both of these monsters were a CR8, and I
Which
think
essentially means a party of 8. Well, I mean, a party of 4 8th level characters.
would find it
Um,
challenging.
yeah, would find it challenging.
Um, I think Sword Wraith Commander definitely takes the crown on
Yeah,
this one.
I think even if you rolled minimum, so you only got 2 extra dudes, I think you still would have come on top just because there's no way I would have downed any of your other dudes because you have resistance on all of the attacks. Even if I do, I'm basically dealing 1d10 damage per hit with your resistances, like on average, roughly.
Yeah, the Hydra would have had to have gotten really lucky on its attack rolls to have downed the minions. I think you were right in that your only hope of victory was to take out the commander. That wouldn't have gotten rid of the minions, but I guess you could have claimed bragging rights for taking out the head honcho
Yeah, I'd say you probably do have to kill the minions if it's a
if
thing
it's a
because
summon.
yeah, because it is part of the thing. For example, if you were fighting a party with those, the fight wouldn't end if you killed the big caster in the back. You still got to wipe up all the cronies.
Yeah. I think that's all I've got. That's all the analysis I have for this fight.
Yeah. Overall, I'd say for all intents and purposes, Hydra got wiped.
It got wiped so hard. It was so surprising. But I think that it'll be interesting to see what we come out with next. And I don't know, who knows? Maybe down the line we can kind of have a little bit of a victor's circle where we pull out some similar challenge ratings, like maybe an 8 and a 10 or something, and kind of duke the victors out. But
Or maybe just like
a
your sword wraith goes on.
Sword
Um,
Wraith goes up against
there's
another
another
CR8.
there's another CR8 that also won another time, but that's for probably another day.
That's for the future, but at any rate, thank you all so much for listening. I'm just gonna assume that people are listening so I don't end this recording and immediately start crying. But I had fun. This was really fun. And I look forward to doing it again with y'all. With that being said, thank you for listening to Misfortune's Corner, and we will catch you around.